Hello, I'm David Suda, and I'm the President and CEO of Gold Terra Resource Corporation. We have a tremendous gold project in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, Canada. It's a district scale property, and it surrounds the City of Yellowknife, where there was a very prolific production of over 14 million ounces of high-grade gold. All the roads, infrastructure, power, it's all there. And we are very, very confident in our new target, which is just south of the past producing Con mine. It produced over 5 million ounces of high-grade gold. And with the help of Mr. Gerald Panneton, who we brought on board just about 2 years ago, we were able to secure an option agreement with Newmont to explore that ground, and we're in the midst of doing that, and lots of news flow. And it's been a while since we've sat with you guys and with Matt, and so we're very excited to get everybody up to speed on our story.
David, thank you very much. Gerald, lovely to meet you as well. We can touch you in a second. If I look back, we spoke last August, 2020. Okay, a lot's changed in the intervening period. I think the expectations for 2021 perhaps greater than the reality. Precious metals under a lot of pressure this year. Did you expect that?
It was tough markets, so we had to go hand to mouth a little bit. Yeah. But we knew what we wanted to do, and we were able to fund ourselves to, walk before we run. So would we have liked a bit of a tailwind? Yes. Would our, investors have liked to see things move faster? Always. But before we started this chat, there was talk of, how long does it take to put a mine into production? And you said, people tell me 20 years, and that's ridiculous. And Gerald has done that 3 times, and he used a different word about 20 years.
He did.
He said it should be a little bit shorter.
He did.
So probably
well,
worth
it was
hearing.
some time when you say this about 20 years is because it's because of the location. Sometimes mines may take 20 years to be put in production, but I think depending on the location, it could be a lot more faster.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I say that jokingly because it's usually people who don't know what they're doing tell me this. It buys them some time. And I make the joke that they were young men when they started working there, and they're still not in production. so
my first mine I put in production from acquisition in 2000 to production, pouring gold in less than 5 years.
Which one's that?
Chilawaka in Tanzania.
Yeah.
When I was working with Barrick. I was with Barrick from 1994 all the way to January 2006. And the second mine that I put in production, which was Detour Lake, I did the IPO closing in January 2007, found more than 20 million ounces ahead of the team, being in charge of the company, and raised 2.6 billion, and I pour gold 6 years later in February 2013.
Right.
So look,
when it goes well, it goes well. And just be clear, when you say I put it into production, you manage the team?
Yes, of course. I was the founder, president, and CEO, and I was overseeing everything from raising money technically with my good friend Louis Dion. He's again on the board of Gold Terra. He's one of the prime mining engineer in Canada. I met him during my Barrick days. We've been working for 27 years. And that's one of the things people don't realize. For a junior company of our size, we've already are equipped to go all the way to production.
And you put your money where your mouth is, didn't you?
I do. I declined the offer of stock option as a chairman when I joined 2 years ago. I purchased, at the moment I joined, 1 million share at 36 cents Canadian. I now own approximately just under 3%, 5.4 million share of the company, all purchased with my own money. And I think, or I should say with our own money, my wife and I think I'm very happy about playing a role, because the reason I'm here, it's because I really like the project. And when David invited me, I said, I'll go do a due diligence. And the main reason, which was part of what David said, the Campbell Share. The Campbell Share has produced 14 million ounces of gold between 1938 and 2003. Mine was shut down during low gold price. And the previous management of Terra X, we changed the name to Gold Terra because rebranding, new management, new focus.
I think that's important, actually, and that was where I was going with the questions, and we'll come back to shortly. You walked into a specific scenario. The management team were maybe tired, maybe Needed some refreshing. You're a finance guy,
Yep.
right? You haven't got the skill sets that this guy has. You're quite complimentary. Has your thinking about how you move this thing forward evolved from when you first walked in to today?
Big time.
Right.
Yeah.
What's changed?
Well, first of all, the strategy. Because when I arrived, I had a certain set of expectations, from the amount of due diligence that I was able to do as a non-geologist. I saw the potential. I saw the history. It was really the history that drew me. I mean, people say the best place to build a mine or find one is next to one, right? So that's an adage that sticks because it's true. It's not always true, but that's what drew my attention. I saw a skill set that I could bring to the table. I was able to. I knew I could bring fresh money, institutional money, which I felt was important for any junior, especially in troubled markets, because you got to be able to go back to people, and you have to go back to the right people that are going to stick with you. But what I imagined would happen, which would have been to put out a resource on the targets that were laid in front of me by the existing team, it became apparent that was not going to be the plan. And so I was able to attract Gerald because I knew that he's built mines before. But I also knew that he could speak to the investing community. And so really, it was Gerald who brought the new plan. It was, why are we running around here, hoi polloi, trying to piece together a little resource when you can be drilling on the structure that delivered all of this history, Dave, that you were attracted to when you came?
But you had to go and get that, right?
You had to go get that.
You had to go and do a deal.
And that took 9 months.
Yeah.
You
So well, when I did my due diligence, I sat with the initial team, which did a very good job, by the way, because they put a huge property land package, 800 square kilometers. It's tremendous, the work they've been doing. But I think they were lacking focus and strategy. They were kind of like distracted by the high grade they were finding on surface, forgetting about gold is a very simple way. It generates itself in big plumbing system. We can come back to this later. But when I did my due diligence, the first thing that struck me is that they never spent any money or any time on the Campbell Shear, where it generated 14 million ounces of gold over the years. So I said, why not? Well, I said, because of this and that, and whatever reason they had. So I started negotiating with Newmont to get the extension of the Con Mine, because the potential is very simple. It's south of the Con Mine or north of the Con Mine, or the Giant Mine, sorry. And then between the Giant and the Con Mine is the same deposit. So basically we had the north, which we own 100%, but we had the south, which was drilled, which shows the Campbell Shear. We have an intersection of gold, which is like 10 kilometers south of the mine, 8 grams over 8 meters, drilled in 1961. It's public. I mean, we did a press release on that. So I said, potential is there. So let's try to negotiate with Newmont as close as the original mine was. And we managed to do a deal that was signed a year ago. And that's perfect because it gives us the ground we're drilling in 2021. It's very simple to take a target and drill it. But when you have a target like this just south of the mine, it's much easier than spreading your wing everywhere.
Yeah.
Archean gold, which is Yellowknife, is a very simple. I was born in Archean geology. So for me, it's a very simple place to work and extend gold.
Tell me this. You're talking the language of someone who's built 3 mines, right?
Yeah.
The guys before you, explorers, get a little bit excited about the geology, and just it's a kind of like a science project, many times.
That's a great way to put it.
This guy has got to finance it. So your big idea and their little idea are poles apart in terms of business strategy or the plan, right? And get your reputation. Does your reputation help him raise cheap money? And at $45 million, how do you map this out? Because you can't just go big and you can't
No, you got to go step by step.
Right.
The first thing I remember talking to David in the summer, and I said I gave him a couple of options, and the easiest option would have been exactly to do what I did at Detour Gold, which was basically take an asset from a company, put that into a brand new company. Right. Because when I bought Detour Lake to become Detour Gold from Pelangio, it was a spin-off. Right, according to Pelangio, but for me it was a purchase. 100%. And one of the things that I remember very clearly, they had the property from 1998 to 2006 and didn't know what to do with it anymore. They were tired.
Right.
This is the same scenario. Terra X had the property since 2013. And for 5-6 years, until David showed up and myself, at some point you're spinning wheel. You're not going anywhere.
You're tired.
And why is that? And money is tired. Money gets tired very quickly.
Yeah.
I compare a vehicle that has been around like a used car that needs money to be put in. Whatever is the engine, whatever is the flat tire. Now you have...
Sometimes the driver.
Yeah, sometimes the driver needs to be replaced. Yes, for sure. But at the same time, and I've raised $2.6 billion. And it's not my CFO that raised it. It's me.
I know, but my point is,
So my
45 million,
financial...
that's a different conversation, right?
But from
2.6.
my geological, but from my technical aspect, I know what a gold deposit looks like. I can tell you on the back of one sheet of paper if the project is going to work or not. When I came into Yellowknife, I said it's very simple. It's got the potential of 10 to 15 gram gold.
Right.
In today's world, 10 gram gold is worth $600 US a ton. In Canada, we do underground mining for $200. We've got plenty of historical, valuable data in the camp, and we're just next to it.
So give me the plan. How do you do the baby steps like you did at Detour? I want to know, because if I'm an investor, I'm saying, how does this guy get there? Because he may have raised $2.6 billion. It's kind of, in a way, easier at that
So,
end
but
than
let's
it is
just-
down here,
I
right?
raised money at Detour for one reason, because I kept drilling.
Yeah.
I kept finding gold. I put a resource every year or every 12 months or every 16 months. And I took the company from 140 million to 4 billion in less than 5 years.
Which is amazing.
Okay.
And
What are you
sorry,
doing
stop,
here?
hold
So,
on, stop.
but I kept
I want to jump in because this is seriously.
I kept finding
Yeah.
gold because I kept drilling and I
Yeah.
knew where to drill. And
Yeah.
I focused.
The importance is timing. That's what I wanted to bring. That's
Right.
why I want. Sorry to cut you off, but the timing is. It's great to have a concept. It's great to have a plan.
Right.
It's okay to change the plan, as
Absolutely.
we discussed.
Absolutely.
Okay, and it's been a tough year, like you said. You're hand to mouth, but the rubber has to hit the road somewhere. And for us, it hit the road when we drilled 10,000 meters.
Yep.
We started in January of 2021 on the Campbell Shear to earn into
The Newmont option.
The Newmont option, okay? And that 10,000 meters of drilling was very successful because we pinned down the Campbell Shear. We found the vectors that are, what gets you to those stacked high-grade lenses within the broader structure. And then we took that information and we went and pinned that down again and went tighter and started drilling, and the results of that have been on the tape. You see,
Sure.
we drilled some fantastic intersections. Lots more news flow to come from that. Assay labs are, again, slow, but that's the plan. The plan is you just have to, you go from concept to raising the money, which we also did, by the way. So this is all funded. We don't need to raise money to do what we're talking about right now. And now the news is going to flow, and everyone will see what you just said, which is you drill, you find gold, you attract attention, right? Stock price goes up, you raise money, rinse and repeat. You build a company.
Every step of the way, basically, like the Detour story, we will be creating value by adding ounces to our book.
Right.
And as we move along and we find more gold, and we have a target internally that we would like to add 2 million ounces at 10 gram to our portfolio. And the place to go is the Campbell Shear, south of the Con Mine.
But it's kind of like it's a separate entity in a way, because what was gone before is, as you said, that it's nice, but it's not important. Campbell Shear could be really important
Very much.
to this business, right?
I could go to the north of the giant land and find another 3 million ounces.
Right, but so in a very meaningful way, I'm more interested in what you're about to do than what has gone in the past, and you're getting some value for that. But
I thank them. I thank them because they never touch where they should have drilled.
Right. Okay.
They left
so
it
it's
for
good,
me.
Right. So there's some value the market's attributing towards that. I'm not going to. I'm more excited about what you're saying. Okay. So now come back to the questions, which is what are those baby steps to get you there? Because you've done some roadshow, clearly done some roadshow. The share price has shot up in the last week or so, right?
Well,
so
it's a non-broker. It's non-broker, no deal roadshow. First
those
of all,
are my favorites.
well,
the no deal
because-
roadshows.
No, it's a no deal roadshow because it's very important to say it. COVID put us at home for 18 months.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the first time we have an opportunity to talk to investor in person. And for the first time, I was able to go back to where I've been going for 15 years. The people that I've, know, meeting some shareholders, because we did that 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so in the last 2 years, not only COVID, but a difficult market in 2021, like David alluded, we were able to get back traction on the market.
Yeah.
And of course, yes, it's nice to be able to see the stock bouncing back from a bad September, October. Look, when I started my roadshow, we were valued at roughly $19 an ounce based on a 1.2 million ounces on 2 pit north of town. We're in town. Everybody goes home at night. It's so cheap to work in Yellowknife. We brought the cost of drilling down to $200 a meter.
Right. Okay.
We've done so many good things in the company over the last 2 years. And it's very important. We are developing a strategy. We even add a concrete potential strategy to look an optionality to develop. But the first thing we need, like you said, baby step, the first step was to get the Newmont option. The second step is to find 2 million ounces. The third step is prove it up and put it in production.
I'm interested in the bit between step 1 and step 2, because there's a bunch of things you got to do. One is finance the thing, right? I know you finance for the next bit that you just described, but you're going to need more money.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering what the balance between the story you're going to be able to tell about the Campbell Share Zone, your reputation of what you've done before, because there's a bit of sentiment in fundraising sometimes, and where you are now in terms of the share price today. The market's going to move
also where we need to go to get the money. Don't forget, we've spent 3 years of flipping the registry of
the tired money.
True.
Right. So we've brought in good money that we have relationships with, that we believe are, those are long-term shareholders. They're patient, not 20 years patient, but maybe 5 or 6 years patient.
Right. Okay.
And so if we had a slow year like we did last year in terms of being able to generate momentum in the stock price, they're not worried about that. What they want to do is they want to be aligned with us. We're aligned with shareholders like they are with us. So, are we going to raise money at some stage in order to drill, the 40 or 50,000 meters we want to drill next year to follow up on the success that we're having now? Of course we do. We have to raise that money, but we're confident that with good results throughout the rest of this fall, we can, and with a bit of a tailwind from the market, we can do that at a price that's not dilutive and works for everyone.
Absolutely. Because I want to move from kind of like the theory of it, because, what you're saying is what a lot of people come in and say. They haven't got your track records. And I'm interested in the fact you changed the strategy, you cleaned out the share register, you kind of almost cleaned out the people in control of the company too, and you've refocused on what is a slightly more exciting potential for you. So the money is going to finance. You mentioned that's a lot of drilling. Is that a number that's put out to the market already?
No.
We've been talking.
Is that a wish?
It's a wish list.
It's a wish list.
Right,
Our wish list would be. Listen, if we want to bring this project, we need quality ounces. We already have. You see, for example, I'm going to give you said baby step.
Yeah.
When we did the option deal was over 4 kilometers. Okay. So we drill at 300 meters, a series of holes every 200 meters at that elevation. And the best 2 holes that we had, 3 and 5, drilled last winter, are part of that first step. This summer, when we started drilling again the next 7,000-8,000 meters, that will be complete by Christmas, we're drilling roughly, 15 holes more. 3 of them are public now.
Yes.
We're waiting for the assays.
Nice.
What did the first hole give? 12 grams over 5 meters. Within a zone of 5 grams over 18 meters.
Yeah.
Close to surface, 250 meters.
These
deposit goes down all the way to 2,000 meters. So to be able to test, say, down to 1,000 meters, we've calculated that it'll be nice to have 40,000 meters of drilling next year.
Okay.
And focus on this zone and come up at the end of 2022 with a resource update showing the value of what we've been optioning from Newmont.
Right. So how do you incrementally bring that money in, or can you go large and get and tell a story well enough to get a premium?
Listen, the market is the market.
Yeah.
We need to live with the market we are in. We're not going to create the market, right? That's very important. So if our stock price is such in the first quarter of 2022, and we say we're not going to do 40,000 meters, we're going to do and raise money for 30, but we can drill 12 months a year. So we don't need to raise all the money at once.
Important.
And if we raise less money to drill less, we're going to have good drilling.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear.
Step by step.
Okay? Because you've got ambition, enthusiasm, but sometimes that means companies can get ahead of themselves. And it is dilutive, and you don't want to be dilutive. So,
and we've proven that
I
that's our
have
style.
done the one best example of all the junior company, starting with Detour Gold. I almost built the mine, starting at 40 million share, at 200 million share, raising 2.6 billion. I know what to avoid. I don't do warrants. I don't create stock option.
Yeah.
As a CEO of Detour Gold at the IPO, I had 200,000 stock option, not 2 million, 200,000.
How's that go down with brokers? Brokers love a warrant. They encourage a
I
warrant.
don't. They know
he
me.
knows.
Do you know what the bankers? My reputation on Bay Street is not good because I fight for every penny.
Right. Okay.
Because, for example, as a chairman, I didn't took any stock option, and I bought shares on the market into every financing right when I started.
Yeah.
And and my average is way above the price today. I'm not worried about it because I know I have a project I can create value. That's very important. And at the end of the day, my job is not for the broker. The broker, they just want a fee.
I know.
And they walk away. My job is align myself with the shareholders, invest my money, and create value.
It is important, though, also to have good relationships with brokers because you don't want to be the enemy of the street either, right?
There's a balance.
Exactly.
There's a balance,
and it's important to use that balance to benefit again all the shareholders. That's how you create. You can't create value by having enemies everywhere, right?
I know that, and I know there's the East Coast West Coast scenario in Canada, but they all want the same thing, which is the fees. They want warrants because it's an easier sell for them, but it's potentially damaging in terms of overhang or at the end of a 4-month hold, it hurts companies of a certain size. There's a point at which you will get to where you don't need to.
And
do
we
warrants
haven't already.
because,
Again, we've proven as baby steps, albeit, but the last deal that I oversaw before Gerald came in was the first deal with no warrants because we're aligned on that. And we were able to get that done. And then since then, we've not issued any warrants. The last warrants expired yesterday or the day before, actually.
Right.
So that sort of legacy is gone.
Yeah.
And, to your point, are you going to go and raise all the money you need for the 50,000 meters you'd like to drill? If we have the right share price and it makes sense, yes.
Right.
But if not, then we'll keep doing what we've been doing, which is bootstrapping our way to drilling for good results.
In general, you don't want to be raising more than 10, at the max 15% of your float.
Yeah. Okay.
Your financing needs to be aligned with a proper dilution. You're not going to do this. And we are not interested even in consolidation because we know very well that we can create value even if we have 190 million shares outstanding.
Yeah. Okay.
We brought very good account. It doesn't mean about the price. It's about the value of the company eventually.
Guys, good run through. It's been a while. I wanted an update. Wanted to meet you. And see what's changed, how things have evolved. But come back in the new year. Let's get technical on the Campbell Share Zone. We'll have a technical conversation around that one. Show people what you're seeing, what you're telling the street and the institutional guys.
And we'll have lots of drill news to talk about then too.
Fantastic.
So that's going to be good.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Great.
Good to see you again,
Yeah.
David. And
Thanks
love to
very
meet
much
you,
for
Gerald.
having us.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.